Ayun na nga. Magandang gabi mga kapayaman. So nandito na naman tayo sa ating Saturday Habit, 'di ba? Ating Salamat Sabado Nights at itong gabing to ako, I'm very excited no because ano ba? Kasi ito yung parang generation na nag-i-inspire sa akin ngayon. I don't belong to this generation. Pero there are a lot of things that I'm learning from them. At mamaya i-share pa natin kung ano yan, no? Pero malaman lang natin, no? Shoutout muna tayo sa ating mga kapayamans dyan. Tingnan muna natin. Ayan, we have Cindy de la Cruz Daraug. Magandang gabi from Pampanga. Ayan, pakilagay na lang po sa ating comment section kung taga saan po tayo para ma-welcome namin kayo. Yan, thank you. Yan si Jerome. Yan, ito. Very close. Very close to our guest for tonight ng si Jerome from Riyadh. We have Egan, I think. Egan Reem, right? From Riyadh. Marami tayong mga international audience ngayon, no? Very exciting. Gia Park, good evening. Leo Divina Reyes, Francis the Bright Trader, magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. So siguro, bago tayo magsimula, tanungin muna natin. Put it in the comment section. Sabihin nyo na lang, if you're a Gen Z, if you belong to the Gen Z generation, just say Gen Z. Pero kung hindi, just say feeling Gen Z in the comment section para malaman natin kung ilan ba yung mga audience natin na Gen Z. Yan, tingnan natin. Okay, sige, pakilagay lang po, Gen Z or feeling Gen Z. At habang tinatype nyo yan, welcome lang natin si Binol from Lipa, Batangas. Thank you for joining Binol. Flo Bruela, Macdo from Tacloban. Yan. Okay, wala pa nagre-respond. Lagay lang po natin if you're Gen Z or feeling Gen Z. Yan, si Chano, Gen Z daw. Hindi ako naniniwala masyado, pero sige. Okay, so magandang gabi po ulit sa inyo mga kapayaman. Tayo po, nandito tayo sa ating Saturday Habit. At pag-uusapan natin ulit ang stock market and more things. Actually, stock market and beyond. At itong gabing ito, again, it's dedicated for our Gen Z generation or our Gen Z audience. Right? Pero if you're feeling young at heart, you're very welcome kasi the goal of Stockset is to share, right? To share about the stock market, simplify the stock market for every Filipino. And that includes every generation, right? Pero itong gabing to, right, we're just going to customize a little bit kasi alam natin na yung mga kabataan natin, mga gustong magsimula sa stock market, right? Probably mga anak nyo, mga pamangkin, or maybe you yourselves, at hindi nila alam kung paano magsisimula. Siyempre, if you're a minor, di ba? Medyo hindi natin alam kung paano magsisimula. So, yan yung pag-uusapan natin. So, pakilagay lang po natin din sa chat, mga kapayaman, how long have you been doing stock market? You can say 0, or you can say 1 year, 2 years, para ma-filter, maano rin natin, ma-customize din natin yung content natin for tonight. So lagay lang po natin, how long have you been doing stock market investing or trading? 0, 1 year, 2 years and beyond, put it in the chat. Right? So habang tinatype nyo yan, medyo may delay lang kasi ako sa comments, no? Yan, i-welcome lang na. Si Malin Garcia, feeling Gen Z from Riyadh. Magandang gabi. Leo Divina Reyes. Yan, Sean Villaflor. Okay. Very exciting, very exciting. I think marami sa atin na hindi pa nagsisimula talaga sa stock market. Erica de la Merced, Flo Bluela. Thank you mga kapayaman. So, eto na nga. Wala nang intro. No, actually, bigyan natin ng intro because she deserves an introduction. Paano ba natin na-meet itong si Pia? Actually, lahat ng mga educators natin or kapayaman natin sa stocks ed, believe it or not, yung iba sa kanila, like si Chi, hindi ko pa na-meet in person because na-meet ko siya virtually, right? During the pandemic. Ganon din si ating guest for tonight. I saw her channel on TikTok, right? She has a very unique channel in TikTok. It's her channel is, or her account is used for educating Filipinos, young Filipinos, about personal finance, money management, and of course, the stock market. And ganun lang naman yung ginagawa natin sa Stockset. We want to partner with people who have the heart to share and help more Filipinos to be involved in stocks investing, right? So I messaged her and she was very excited to share, not only for tonight. In fact, we will have a lot more from her in the next coming weeks, right? Pero wala nang patumpik-tumpik pa. I'm going to welcome for tonight our guest, Miss Pia Bautista. Miss Pia, pakiano lang tayo. Turn on tayo ng camera. Ayun. Good evening, Pia. Oops, medyo nagbe-break up yung
Good evening po.
Okay. Sige, wait lang Pia. Medyo mabagal yata yung connection natin dyan sa iyo. Okay, mga kapayaban, no? Check nyo lang, no? Let me know, do you experience the same? I think medyo naglalag yung ni Pia. No? Alright, pero Pia, good evening. Kamusta ang buhay-buhay? Anong pinagkakabalan natin, Pia? Okay, sorry, we're experiencing some technical difficulties at the moment. Do you hear me, Pia?
Studying so much about finance po and wealth creation. I'm interested in it po. Okay naman po.
Okay. So medyo may delay lang tayo. Sige, Pia, I'm gonna ask you to to check on your connection. Okay lang ba? I'm gonna ask you to check on your connection. I'll introduce about the stock market muna. Right? So I think kasi medyo naglalag siya. Pero yeah, mga kapayaman, sige, you can turn off your camera muna, check your connection, and then ako muna yung mag-share before we begin.
I think okay na po.
Okay na? Okay na? Oh, yun.
Okay na po.
Yan, okay, Sophia. Sige, just introduce a little bit about yourself. Tell us about what you do, anything about you.
So yeah, I'm Pia po, 16 years old, and I'm very interested in the stock market, investing, making money work for me po, and mindset development, basically.
Ayan, okay. So Pia, ayan. So nandito po siya for tonight para mag-share about the stock market, her journey, right? How did she begin? And in fact, mga kapayaman, we're encouraging you in the comment section if you have any questions towards for Pia or even for myself, sa akin, right? Pwede nyo itanong dyan sa comments at sasagutin natin yan. Okay, so Pia, wala nang patumpik-tumpik. Sige, simulan na natin. I'm going to share my screen because ito yung mga common questions na nakukuha natin. So, and I think to start introducing what you do. So, what got you into the stock market daw, Pia?
Okay. So, nung nag-start po yung quarantine, since hindi na nga po tayo nakakalabas and wala na rin po ako masyadong gastos, I thought about putting my money in a bank savings account at first. But as I was researching about it, I realized na sobrang baba po pala ng interest or ng kikitain ng money ko doon. So when I told my dad about it, he told me to read Rich Dad Poor Dad. And honestly, it's so life-changing because that's how I learned na I had to make money work for me. So that's how I got into the stock market. But since then po, I never stopped learning about finance, personal finance. And now I'm so deeply passionate about it na I want to share my knowledge to everyone, especially to my fellow Gen Z people.
Yun, tayo. No, sila. Kayo. Right. And just a little trivia. Ako, personally, I learned about the stock market then from Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that was a decade ago, more than a decade ago, in fact. So yun, very 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 inspiring yung libro. What got you excited? Like maybe some of our viewers here have seen or have read the book. Bakit stock market? Kasi pinag-usapan doon yung real estate at iba pang investment vehicles. So what excited you to do stocks instead? Yeah.
I feel like the stock market is very accessible. Like, especially during now po na nasa pandemic tayo, you can open an account and the process is all online. So I thought I'd rather get into the stock market po.
Okay. Yeah, kasi online, ako nga pala kasi medyo nag-quarantine, right? I think this was pabarba. Of course, we have the real estate and other investment vehicles, pero this is something handy na pwedeng simulan ng kahit sino at the moment, right? Even during the pandemic. Yeah, okay. Sige. And ito, very common question din ng mga tao. How to open an account for minors? Paano ka ba nagsimula dyan?
So I'm gonna share my screen po.
Okay.
Wait lang. Ayan po. So how to open an account for minors? At least with the broker I'm using, which is COL Financial, I know there are two ways. So the first one is you can open an ITF or an interest for account wherein yung parent po yung magiging primary holder and yung anak, yung underage, yung magiging secondary holder and beneficiary. But when you turn 18, pwede pong ma-convert yung account into A, an individual account of the child alone, or B, a joint account ng child and ng parent. And the second way is how I did it. Basically, my older brother opened an account. So it's under his name, but I'm the one who's using it and handling it po.
Yun. Okay, so very exciting na ayan yun. So we have two ways. Number one is pwedeng kay parents muna. Ikaw, ano ba yung ginawa mo rito? Ano yung parang pinili mong option for yourself?
I did the second option po.
Which is a family member to open an account. Sabi
Yes.
mo nga si Kuya. Si Kuya mo yung parang...
Opo, since he's 18 na po.
Yan. So mga kapayaman natin na Gen Z minors, right? If you have an older sibling, right? Pwedeng sila muna yung nakapangalan. Or in fact, your parents, di ba? Pwedeng sila rin yung mag-open na muna ng account for you. And anyway, aaralin pa lang muna naman natin, di ba? So it doesn't matter if it's not under your name, di ba?
Yes, as long as
Okay.
you're paying the taxes.
Si brother mo ba ay nag-stock market din?
No po, he's not into it, but he's more into business po.
Business naman. Okay, sige. We'll share more about that. No, I'm going to stop your sharing, Pia, before we continue. Because I think marami sa ating mga kapayaman ay hindi pa talaga nagsisimula sa stock market. Now, I'm just going to present a little bit, right, to parang simplify what the stock market is para magkaroon lang tayo ng idea, right? Okay ba yan mga kapayaman? So ito lang i-share lang natin. Okay, very brief lang to. Actually, ginamit ko lang to kahapon. I hope yung mga audience kahapon do not mind me sharing yung short story na to. No? So stock market from scratch. So for any one of you na hindi pa nagsisimula sa stock market, let me introduce kung ano yung stock market, ano yung konsepto nito. Okay? So let's say na lang ito si Pia. Yan, si Pia, meron siyang negosyo at ang negosyo niya is Siomai. Ayan, ang pangalan ng negosyo niya is Siomai Vibes. Now, Pia is a really good businesswoman, di ba? Pumapatok yung siomai niya, napakasarap kasi, malinamnam at very unique kumpara sa ibang siomai. Kaya kumikita talaga yung negosyo niya. Now, naisip ni Pia kung ganito na maganda yung takbo ng negosyo, then if I expand, right, kung maglalagay ako ng iba't ibang siomai vibes throughout Luzon, edi posibleng mas malaki pa yung kitain ko. Di ba? Pero ang problema, yung kinikita niya currently is not enough to expand to different locations. So ano mga pwedeng gawin ni Pia? Ikaw, Pia, tingin mo, kung ikaw kailangan mo ng kapital, ano ba yung mga usually pwedeng gawin ng mga tao?
Mag-raise po from investors.
Okay, nag-jump ahead na si Pia. Pero kalimitan, right? Typically, ang mga Pilipino, umuutang. Yan niya yung ginagawa. And in fact, not only Filipinos, di ba? Utang is good for different, in some instances, no? In some instances. So lumapit si Pia dun sa bangko, pero ang bangko, hindi siya pinayagan kasi yung amount na hinihingi niya is too big for her background and assets. Kumbaga bagong business pa lang, hindi pa masyadong safe, high risk. Di ba? So ngayon, saan ngayon kukuha ng pera si Pia? So siguro maraming kaibigan si Pia or kakilala na mga mayayaman, pero nag-no din for some reasons. Now, ang pwedeng gawin ni Pia, right? Si bangko, hindi siya masyado pang comfortable to lend a big amount of money for expansion, right? Or yung mga kaibigan din ni Pia na mga may pera, hindi rin sila comfortable to lend her money. meron tinatawag na initial public offering or IPO. So ano yung IPO? Pia, could you tell us a little bit about IPO?
It's when a new company is newly listed in the stock market para people can invest in it po.
Yan. In other words, sabi nga ni Pia, this is your company being listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. Diba? So, ililista mo siya sa Philippine Stock Exchange for some amount para i-welcome mo yung mga public investors. So, kumbaga, yung mga tayo bilang publiko, pwede na tayong mag-invest sa company at yun yung gagamitin ni Pia for her business expansion. Right? So, the only risk of this is, syempre, dahil meron ng public participation, meron na ring influence yung public perception. So this is like you are allowing the public to dictate the value of your business, right? Through buying and selling shares. So pag-usapan pa natin yan. So ganun na nga, dahil si Pia ay magaling na businesswoman, nagawa niya yung kanyang plano, nakapag-expand siya throughout Luzon. At syempre, kapag maraming branches, it will eventually lead to more profits. More profits, right? More investments. Pwede rin siyang gumawa ng bagong produkto. So kung dati siomai lang, ngayon pwede na siyang mayroong ramen or maybe baked sushi. Di ba? At syempre kung magaling talaga yung mga products ni Pia, these additional products or services could lead to even more profits. Now, si Pia bilang owner ng kanyang company, because she is a good businesswoman, very good money manager, malaki yung kinikita niya from the investments at sa business expansion. Now, she doesn't really have to do it, pero pwede niyang bigyan ng small percentage ng kinita ng company yung mga investors niya. Right? Ito yung tinatawag na dividends or yung parang cut ng mga investors sa earnings ng company. Again, she doesn't have to do it, pero why do you think they do it? Right? Yung mga owners. Unang-una, to keep them excited, para ma-excite din yung mga investors, di ba? Maybe they can invest more, and at the same time, to attract other investors. So, halimbawa, itong itago natin sa pangalang ano to, si Arnel lang. si Arnel, hindi siya nakabili ng IPO, pero nakita niya na pwede palang kumita dito sa business ni Pia. So, nag-offer siya na bumili ng share. Right? Bilhin na rin niya yung share ng isang shareholder. Siyempre, ikaw ba Pia, halimbawa, shareholder ka ng isang company, nabili mo siya ng let's say 10,000 pero sobrang lumago na yung business, papayag ka ba na bibilin sa'yo ng 10,000 lang din?
Hindi po.
Hindi, di ba? Dapat, siyempre, mas malaki na yung value ng company, mas malaki na yung business, kailangan mas malaki na rin yung bayaran if you want to get some shares. At gano'n na ngayon nangyayari. Right? So it could be twice as much, could be I don't know, even triple, depende kung ano yung mapagkakasunduan na presyo ni buyer and ni seller. And that's basically how the stock market works. Diba? The only difference is, in the stock market, it's happening thousands and tens of thousands of transactions at a time. Diba? So buying and selling of shares. At yun yung isi-share sa atin ni Pia. Ikaw ba, Pia, bakit parang what excites you as a trader investor? Why parang na-hook ka sa stock market? Ano yung nagustuhan mo dito?
Well, it's so, like, your money can grow so quick if you do it right. So I think that's exciting po.
Okay, quick. Pwedeng mas mabilis, di ba? Compared to bank savings, which is tama nga naman, di ba? Kasi in bank savings, do you know how much percentage ang interest lang ng bangko?
Around 1% po or less po yata.
Less. Oo, dati 0.25% yan. Recently, na-cut in half pa. Naging 0.12% na lang. So yeah, I agree na yun nga, pwedeng mas mabilis na kumita dito. Now, ayun na nga, how to open an account for minors. Now, how much capital did you start with now, Pia?
I just want to say that anyone who wants to directly invest in the stock market should always start with 8K. And I've talked about the 8K rule in one of my TikTok videos, which I believe is also posted in this Facebook page. So you can go check that out. But personally, naka-divide po kasi sa two parts yung capital ko. So once for my trading and one's for my parents' investment since I'm also the one who's handling it. Uh, for the exact capital, let's just say I follow the 8K rule.
Tell us about it.
I,
Ano yung 8K rule ba? Yes, sige.
the 8K rule states that you need to invest at least 8,000 pesos to minimize the broker fees. Kasi yun po yung flooring na parang 0.25% exactly, which is equivalent to 20 pesos na
Yun.
broker
So,
fee.
kumbaga, sige, actually si Pia merong video dyan sa TikTok about the 8K rule, di ba? Pero what's the consequence ba, Pia? Kung halimbawa, mag-start ako magte-trade ako just below 8,000 pesos. Ano yung mga pwedeng consequence pa niya?
If you trade below 8,000 pesos po, mas mataas yung mababayaran niyo po sa broker's commission fee. So, doon pa lang po talo na po kayo kahit wala pa pong nangyayaring price movement.
Ayun. So, because of the mga fees na binabayaran, di ba? And this applies, para lang ma-share ko lang, yung 8K rule, if you're going to do active trading, like bumili ka, tapos binenta mo agad, below 8,000 yung puhunan mo, talo ka pa, right? Pero if you're an investor, ano ba wala, Pia, for some of our viewers, let's say wala pa sila talagang 8,000 but they want to start sa stock market, pwede ba below 8K? Magkano bang pwedeng puhunan nila dyan?
I guess pwede naman po if you're going long term since there's more room for growth and you wouldn't mind the short-term fluctuations ng price po.
Yun, that's true, right? If you're going for long term, hindi ka naman agad-agad magbebenta, right? Pwede na maybe every sahod or every allowance sa ating mga students dito, every allowance, imbis na ubusin natin, lalo ngayon, hindi naman tayo bumabiyahe, di ba? Mga naka-virtual learning tayo. So di ko alam kung may allowance pa rin kayo from your parents. Pero if you do, right, or maybe you have some side hustles, pwede mong itabi at ilagay sa stock market paunti-unti. Di ba? Kasi hindi mo naman agad ibebenta. So yung 8K rule can be waived or can be invalidated if you're going to be long-term with your investments. No? Okay? Sige, tingnan natin muna yung mga tanong. Pia, can you check? Meron pa tayong mga magagandang questions dyan sa comment section natin?
Wait lang po.
Sige, medyo nag-lag din yung ano ko eh. Tingnan muna natin, no? So again, mga kapayaman, if you have any questions, put it in the comment section, no? Right. Sige, i-explore natin yan. Now, how and where did you learn, Pia?
So I learned first month po, I think, ng quarantine, and I started learning through a website called Investagrams.com because they have free classes there po as in step by step. So what I did was I took down notes and I read them every single day. I read books all day and I watched YouTube videos. So it was all about commitment po talaga.
I think are you going to share a presentation then to para mapakita sa viewers? Yeah, sige. So Investagrams, yan, mga kaibigan natin yan. And sige, mamaya I'm going to share more about different sources, no? Pero definitely Investagrams is a good source. Yan, sige.
Here are some of my favorites po sa YouTube kasi madami po talaga. So Investagrams, Money Growers PH, COL Premium, they have a seminar there po na step-by-step ng technical analysis, and Marvin Germo po. And for the books, two of my favorites are How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill, wherein tuturuan po kayo kung paano pumili ng mga strategy, kung paano pumili ng stocks and paano magbasa ng chart patterns like yung mga cup with handle, mga ganun po. And sa Think and Trade Like a Champion by Mark Minervini, it's super technical. Like, sasabihan niyo po kung paano mag-enter, kung kailan mag-sell, ano po dapat yung position size, and all those kinds of things po. Yeah, those are my favorite resources.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing, Pia. No? And again, the Investagrams, Money Growers, Call Premium. If you notice, wala si Stockset. Okay lang yun kasi si Pia, nakilala namin, di ba, nakapag-start na siya. And that's definitely okay. In fact, parang I don't know kung meron tayong mga audience dito na medyo matagal na rin nagte-trade, right? Pero medyo nag-aaway-away, may mga away-away sa mga trading groups. We don't need that. In fact, we support everyone, right? We should be happy. We should be happy because dumadami na yung nag-share about the stock market, whether trading or investing man yan. Right? Imagine mga kapayamans, no? There's only 1% of the population in the Philippines na invested in the stock market. So ilan ba ang population natin in the Philippines? We have 100 million. Right? So only 1 million. And in fact, it's not even 1 million. Bakit? Kasi iba dyan, multiple accounts, tapos yung iba hindi pa active. Nag-open lang ng account, pero hindi naman nila ginagamit, di ba? So what I'm trying to say is, we should be happy whether paid or free yung in-offer ng mga groups. I think it's good because ang kalaban natin dito is financial illiteracy, di ba? Ang kalaban natin dito yung mga gawin ng Pilipino na imbis na i-invest yung pera, ipambibili ng mga hindi naman kailangan or pampa-impress ng ibang tao. Yan yung mga kalaban natin. So, I guess that's kasi si Pia tinanong niya, okay lang po ba mag-share ako ng about different groups? Sabi ko, by all means, do it. 'Di ba? Stocks this year to be an additional resource for Filipinos kasi we're trying to simplify the stock market. Pero by all means, kung meron dyan, Investagrams I think is doing Investa University right now for free, right? If the group is helping you, if the group is parang giving you some, parang it's transforming you as a person, di ba? Di ba? It's elevating your financial literacy, mas masinop ka na sa pera, stay with the group, di ba? Pero if the group is parang medyo naiiba yung ugali mo, nagiging palaaway ka, yan yung mga iiwasan natin, right? So yun lang. Thank you for sharing, Pia. No? Right now, you're enrolled in Investa University, tama ba?
Yes po.
Oh, how is it? Kamusta naman? Kamusta naman yung nagiging natin?
Maganda po. Ang galing po nila magturo. Malinaw po.
That's true. Oo, mga natin yan, mga kaibigan natin. Right? Thank you, Pia. Sige, share pa tayo dito. Now, other viewers, mga estudyante, di ba? Marami tayong mga students dito. Very curious kasi akala nila baka kumain to masyado ng oras natin. So how do you manage your time as a trader and a student now, Pia?
I think it's simple po. Naniniwala po sa kasabihang pag gusto may paraan. So lately, since nag-start po yung online classes, there are instances na I have to trade during the online class. Pero it doesn't really take long because I believe na when you have a plan laid out, all that's left to do po is execution, and that usually takes like 3 minutes, 5 minutes lang po. So, and give priority din po sa studies as much as you do sa stocks.
Right. Tell us about your routine. Like, can you describe para sa ating mga students dito na mas madali nga ngayon kasi talagang at home ka na rin nag-aaral, di ba? Pero what's your routine like? Trading and studying at the same time. Yeah.
May trading routine po usually if I know I'm going into a trade the next day, the night before, planned na po siya. Para the next day, madali na po. And studying routine, I just get it done. Just don't procrastinate. If I have things to do po, I just finish it agad.
Yeah, okay. And how about the day itself? Right, and for clarification lang, Pia is more of a trader, right? I think that's her chosen type, right? So siya buy and sell rather than an investor. So on a trading day, both ba? Okay, sige. How do you do that? Ayun, so paano mo siya ginagawa?
Well, I'm a swing and position trader po, which means I hold on to a position for more than a day, up to weeks, months, or even years. Since ako rin po yung nagha-handle ng investment po ng parents ko.
Wow.
Yun po, I also
Okay. Sige, go ahead.
I also invest po. Ayan. That's why I'm planning to learn value investing rin po.
Very nice. And yeah, abangan natin mga kapayaman kasi meron din tayo niyan. Yep. value investing, that's something we will cover here in stocks and not only trading, di ba? Kasi trading is not for all, tama ba Pia? Di ba? Trading is not for all.
Opo.
Bakit? Sino yung mga tao na parang usually maybe trading is not for them? What do you think?
Yung mga tao pong busy na hindi po nila ma-monitor kahit saglit lang po yung stocks nila.
Right, right. So kung if you're, di ba? Maybe you want to spend your time giving value to people through your business or your job, and you don't want to, do a lot of monitoring sa stocks, pwede ka pa rin mag-stock market. You don't really have to be in front of the monitor most of the time. Kasi meron tayong investing, and like Pia, position trading, yan, very minimal lang din yung pagtitingin niya sa chart, right? So do you want to talk about that,
Yes
Pia?
po.
Ano ba yung mga types of investor and trader na meron tayo in the stock market?
So first, there are day traders. These are people who hold on to a position within the day lang po. So by, kunwari, 8:15 a.m., 9 a.m., sell 9:30 a.m. Mga ganun po, like 30 minutes lang po nila hinahawakan yung, basta within the day, yung position. So another one is swing trading. You're gonna hold a position for more than a day, up to a few days, maybe a week, mga ganun lang po. And there's position trading, which is very long term. You can hold a position up to years, months, ganun po.
Yan, okay. So, if you're new in the stock market, kapayaman, we encourage you. So, siguro you can get the hang of it by konting investing muna. Di ba? And then little by little, you can get to know more about the stock market. And then you will feel it kung if you're excited about the concept of trading, maybe eventually, right? Pero start slow lang muna tayo. Sige. Now, Pia will also share some of her strategies, no, on how she does it. Marami pa tayong mga tanong from the comment section. Di ba?
Okay.
Sasagutin natin mamaya. Pero ikaw, sige, how do you do your trades? Meron tayong tinutanong dito from Kiara Elaine Molyon. Sabi niya, how to read the stock market index. Sige, mamaya malalaman natin yan. Pero yeah, you wanna share, Pia?
I'm gonna share one of my favorite trades lang po siguro.
Okay.
Okay, so it's from Dito, a very popular stock, very talked about. Okay, so ayan po. First, let me just point out some things po. When I talk about support, it's a base wherein the buyers are strong. And when I talk about resistance, it's a point where there are a lot of sellers that push the price down. So support, resistance. Okay. So I just use two EMAs, 50 and 20. And what I noticed about dito was yung first run up niya po was 113% and it was consolidating above the EMA. It was using it as support, so I liked it. It was bullish. And the RSI is also above 50. So what I did next was I just plotted the resistance points. Yun po yung points na possible sell areas. Oh, it also, when it broke out of that box po pala, since I'm not a very breakout play type of person, I waited kung mag-establish po muna siya ng support before I bought. So this is what happened. I
So
got it at
sa retest ka pumasok, tama ba?
Opo.
Nag-retest, okay.
At that blue arrow, kasi it was near an EMA 20, and since I'm very conservative, ayun po, I thought that's a good entry point. And my plan was to cut loss kapag na-break yung support na EMA. And since may mga resistance po, those are just points na I wanted to sell at. When it got to the first resistance, I didn't sell it completely, my position, kasi I noticed it was so bullish pa po. So nakadalawang sell po ako dyan, isang 20% gain at isang 40% gain. So average, it's a 30% gain in just 5 days with a risk-reward ratio of 1:4. So I thought that's a pretty good trade.
Wow. 30%, di ba? Average of 30% in 5 days. Now,
yeah.
Okay, so mga kapayaman, that's the beauty of trading. Pero again, we don't want to set false expectations. It's not always like
Yes
that,
po.
no? Right, di ba?
There,
So tulad ni Pia, she had to really kumbaga elevate her understanding of the craft, di ba, before putting the hard-earned money. Di ba? So ito, tell us about it, Pia, kasi how were you feeling? Di ba? Parang medyo nakakanervyo siya kapag katotoong pera na. So, how did you prepare for this trade? Yeah.
well, at first po, as in yung first trade ko po, sobrang nerve-wracking po, as in whole day ko po binantayan yung stock kahit wala na po nangyayari.
Okay.
ang hirap din po makatulog at night, yung mga ganong moments po. Pero as you go along, masasanay ka rin po and matututo po paano mag-manage ng emotions. Plus, madami pong resources na pwede pong basahin about that too, I guess. Yun po. So, sanayan lang po talaga.
Yeah, so sa mga kapayaman natin, expect your first trade to be, I don't know how to describe the feeling, pero I get you. Di ba? It's a halong
Like
excitement.
there's a knot in your stomach.
Exactly, di ba? Which is, ako nung nagsimula ako, hindi rin naman malaki yung nilagay ko. Pero wala eh, merong excitement, nervousness, and that's good, di ba? Maybe that's the stock market shaking, something new in your system. Welcome that energy. Welcome natin yan. Eventually, kapag ka parang hindi ka na masyadong na-excited, that's actually the best position where you are going to be in. Bakit? Kasi kapag ka-relax ka na, hindi ka na kumbaga hindi mo na ginagawa yung trading as an entertainment, but instead, you're using it for really growing your money, di ba? That's when you begin to follow your system. Kumbaga, hindi na siya parang libangan lang, di ba? So, yun. Okay. So, Pia, dito, pero sa mga kapayaman natin dito, medyo na-overwhelm sila, parang teka lang. Ang daming linya-linya na pinakita mo kanina, no? Oo eh, parang may ema-ema pa, may ganito, may cut loss and all. For someone na hindi pa nagsisimula or magsisimula pa lang, could you suggest a good strategy that they can do in the stock market para kahit na simple lang, di ba? Kumbaga, gusto ko pang aralin eh. Pero kahit simpleng strategy na pwede kong gamitin, na pwede pa rin akong kumita. Meron bang ganun?
I guess support and resistance na lang po.
Support and resistance. Sige, talk to us about support and resistance, Pia.
Okay. A support is a lower point. It's a base wherein malakas po yung buyers. So, ayan.
Okay.
That's
so,
where
support,
you wanna buy.
Like this, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, continue. Okay, ano meron dito? Alright, sige, papa-explain natin kay Pia, pero kung makikita ng mga kapayaman natin, di ba, sabi niya, di ba, dito siya nagkaroon ng parang, pagdating dun sa point na yon, tumaas. So parang tumalbog. Now, dito rin uli siya ngayon, nag-i-stay. So bakit, Pia? Ano bang meron sa support level? Bakit parang it's a good place to wait, for traders to buy? Anong meron dito sa level na to?
Kasi po sa price level po na yan, madami pong buyers na willing bumili at that price. So parang nag-aabang rin po sila. Diyan po malakas yung buyers. There's a strong demand that makes the price go up. Ayun po.
Right. Okay. So what I'm viewing now is the Philippine Stock Exchange Index or PSEI. No? So basically, para sa mga bago natin, when there's a reversal, right? Ito, kita natin na, sige, ilalaki lang natin. No? Kita natin that the trend was coming from a downtrend. Di ba? Pero at some point, nagkaroon ng reversal to an uptrend. That is already considered as a support level. Now, big chance, although hindi siya 100% sure, pero nakita natin na bumagsak uli, there's a big chance na dito rin tatalbog. So yung ibang traders, sabi ni Pia, di ba, because there's a high level of demand on this area, pwedeng dyan sila mag-abang at bumili. Tama ba, Pia?
Apo.
Right. And bakit? Bakit ba magandang bumili rin sa support? What's the... Kanina nabanggit mo yung risk management, no? Pero talk to us about it. Bakit magandang bumili sa support level?
It's generally safer po. Kasi when it breaks down that area, parang alam mo na something's wrong and you can cut it immediately. Whereas pag bumili ka sa taas, parang ang layo pa po ng babagsakan nyo, making it a bigger loss. So, support is a good area to
Exactly.
buy.
Yun. So tulad ng sabi ni Pia, pagka nabasag yan, halimbawa, I'm just gonna risk 2%. Di ba? Halimbawa lang 2%. Yan lang. Kapag ka bumagsak dyan, right, 2%, pwede ko nang ibenta. Talo ko, pero maliit lang. Di ba? I'm able to protect my money, my capital. So, mali ako. Sorry, hindi siya tumalbog. Nabutas siya. Ibebenta ko siya ngayon dito. Now, ano yung kabaliktaran ng support? You mentioned about resistance, Pia. What is a resistance level?
A resistance level is where there's so many there's so many sellers po pala.
Mm-hmm. And how does it look like? How does it look like in a chart?
It's the top level. It's the level that the price can't go through. Magaharang po.
Yan. So, dito, alright, anin lang natin. Oh. Well, this could be definitely a resistance. Resistance yan. Right? Hindi pa siya binabalikan. Resistance yan. Right? Kung saan nagkakaroon ng reversal. Pero sometimes, a support level, actually not sometimes, talagang, di ba? A support level kapag nabasag, nagiging
resistance po.
Yan. So ito tulad natin, nakikita natin dito mga kapayaman. Ito yung dating support level. Right? Yung area na yan, nagsusupport siya. Now, nung nabasag, dun din siya nauntog sa level na yon. So, ikaw bilang trader, your strategy could be kapag bumagsak sa... sige, go ahead, Pia. Yeah, sige. You were gonna say something?
So kapag po umabot na sa resistance, it's a good place to sell na po kasi it might reverse.
Yan. So kumbaga, hindi ka na masyadong magiging greedy. So 2% magka-cut loss ako. Pero pag umabot siya, halimbawa rito sa next resistance, ibebenta ko na. And that's a potential 8%. Yan. Diba? Very simple strategy. Support and resistance, pwedeng gamitin ng mga newbies. In fact, let's try to apply it in a chart. Give me any stock na gusto mo, Pia. We can try it.
Yun na lang po siguro, Ali. Yan po
Ali.
yung
Sige, try natin. Ito, medyo bumabagsak si Ali ngayon. Oh. Ayala Land. Yan, Ayala Land. Okay. So ito, nabasag actually yung support niya no, in a daily time frame. Diba? Ito yung parang support level. So now, what could be your play? Diba? What could be your play here? It could be, depende sa'yo, maybe pagka nabasag uli yan, right? Kasi ngayon, resistance na siya eh. Pagka nabasag, doon ka bibili. Kanina, buying on support tayo. Ito naman, buying on?
Breakout.
Right. Tell us about buying on breakout, Pia. Just to share for our kapayamans na bago pa lang. No?
So, a breakout happens po pag nabasag po yung resistance, which means may strong demand po. Ayan.
Yan. So, this is just that's true, di ba? Kumbaga kasi na-overcome ng buyers yung sellers. Although, hindi lang ito yung resistance dyan, marami pang paparating, di ba? It's up to you. So, pwede rin dito, mas conservative, di ba? Halimbawa, ayaw mo talagang mag-invest, ayaw mo munang bumili hanggat walang sure na reversal to an uptrend. So, pwede, aabangan natin siya rito, although matagal pa yan, di ba? Pero pag nabasag tong resistance na to, bibili ako. That could be the rule, di ba? So, what are we trying to say here? Kumbaga, it could be as simple as horizontal lines. Tama ba? Kanina kasi may shinare si Pia na mga
indicators.
EMA, MACD, di ba? Could be overwhelming, right? They are very good. Pero support and resistance alone, we can start na kahit na bago pa lang, di ba? Sige. Okay, so Pia, ano pa? Any tips before we go to some questions here in the comment section, no? Ano yung mga tips na pwede mo pang ibigay sa mga bago pa lang dito sa stock market?
Sa mga bago po, I guess, uh, be patient. It's kasi the stock market can be very volatile and yung emotions niyo po will be all over the place at times. So just be patient and trust your plan. And if it doesn't go against you, just accept it and cut at a small loss. Kesa, yun po.
Yes. Right? Because protecting your capital should be the priority. Kasi not all the time you will be correct. Di ba? Pwedeng akala mo, ang lakas-lakas ng feeling mo natatalbog siya dun sa level na yon. Pero hindi, nabasag. Ngayon, yung iba nagiging hopya. Alam mo yung hopya, Pia? Medyo 90s na to eh. Hopya, hopeful, masyadong nag-hope. Pero sabi nga nila, hope is not a strategy in the stock market. So kapag nabasag, di ba? Pag nabasag na yung support, mali na yung yung bias mo, you can cut loss already, di ba? Be patient with your system, di ba? Mali ka rito sa trade na to. On your next trade, pwede namang tumama ka. Just be patient in learning about your strategy and applying it, di ba? Okay, sige. Sagot lang tayo ng mga tanong. Kita mo ba yung mga comments dyan, Pia? Sa Facebook?
Hindi
Hindi.
po.
Hindi. O sige, ito baka alam mo kasi I think your parents are also from abroad, no? Sabi ni Marvin Narvaez, how to invest in stocks po, like for us OFW? Alam mo ba, Pia?
Hindi po ba mag-open lang po ng account?
Okay, sure. Sige, mag-open na account. Do you know kung paano? Or is it
No.
through your... okay, sige. That's okay. Ayan. Pero, sige, Marvin, I'm going to send you a link, right? Kasi this is a session for Gen Z talaga. Pero I'm going to send you a link, alright? Para mas ma-guide ka, right? Kasi medyo hindi siya same sa topic natin ngayon. Pero I'm gonna send you a link after this session para makapagsimula tayo. Pero basically, it's the same, di ba? It's an online process din. Meron lang additional requirements, right, for our OFW. Sige, tignan natin. Ano pa ba mayroon tayo rito? Sabi ni Samuel Enrique Calma, saan po legit pwedeng bumili ng stocks? Saan nga ba, Pia?
Like brokers po.
Yan. So, ikaw, ang broker mo is?
COL, Cole Financial po.
Okay. Ito, meron ding broker fight na nangyayari ngayon these days. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Which Cole, I believe, is okay for beginners. Although I'm not gonna lie, it can be laggy sometimes. Pero I'm hearing great things about First Metrosec, My Trade, AA. So you can check those brokers out too po.
Yes. So to answer the question of Samuel, may mga brokers, right? Dito yung mag-open ka ng account to as low as 1,000, I think, for call, right? Pero for right, so mga online brokers na mas fancy because they're used for active trading, I think 20,000 and above yung opening account nila. So yung sinasabi ni Pia, call, even BPI Trade, BDO Nomura, ang dami kasing nagre-reklamo, mabagal to, mabagal. Well, these are meant for long-term investing talaga.
Long-term.
I mean ako, gumagamit ako ng call for trading. Pwede rin naman. Pero if you really want na, kung talaga magte-trade ka, no? May mga fancier option ka. Yun nga, nabanggit ni Pia, equities. I think my trade is being very aggressive now for retailers, di ba? Ito yung mga options mo. Pero yun lang, kumbaga, you have to be responsible then as a trader. Hindi natin ilalagay yung sisi na mabagal si call. Trader ka pala eh. Ibang broker, right? Pero if you're just investor, you're going for slower pace, right? You want some research, you want some data. Call Financial, BDO Nomura, magagandang options na to.
And I think yung mga brokers po na connected sa bank like BDO, BPI, hindi po ba wala pong like minimum requirement? Like as long as you have a bank account, you can use their brokerage account. Parang ganun po.
Exactly, oo. So kung meron ka ring bank account like for First Metrosec, kahit wala kang deposit, pwede ka mag-open ng account sa kanila. And by the way, yung account opening amount na sinasabi natin, Hindi yan kinukuha ng broker, hindi yan yung parang entrance fee. Hindi. Ano siya, parang yung dineposit mo
Fun.
na pera,
Ano?
right? Fund mo na rin siya na pwede mo na rin ipambili ng stocks, di ba?
Opo.
Yun. So hindi siya entrance fee na parang nagbayad ako ng 25,000 tapos maglalagay pa ako ng pera ulit pambili. No, pwede mo nang pambili yon. Yan. So ganun siya mga kapayaman. No? So sabi ni Jovi Rabaha, gumagamit po ba dito ng totoong pera? ano masabi mo, Pia?
Opo, totoo po.
Totoong pera. Siyempre, 'di ba? Money makes money, 'di ba? Pero kung halimbawa gusto kong magsimula, gusto kong mag-aral ng trading, ayoko muna maglagay ng pera. Pwede ba 'yun?
Pwede po, you can try paper trading. Actually, meron po nun sa website ng Instagrams, yung virtual trade, wherein hindi po totoo yung money na gagamitin, but the prices, the buying and selling process, it's almost the same po as real life.
Yan. Oh, so 'yun. Instagrams, yan, meron silang parang virtual trading. Bibigyan ka nila ng initially 100,000 pesos, no?
Opo, 100K.
Na virtual money. Okay, ma-excite. Virtual money, yan, na pwedeng gamitin niyo
Fake
for
money.
practice. Fake money lang. So 'yun, Jovi Rabaha, in the actual or in the real world, syempre dapat may totoong pera. Diba? Because you're using it to grow your wealth. It has to start somewhere. Pero if you're just studying, you can do virtual trading. Okay, tingnan natin si Kyle Altea. May plano po ba kayong magturo ng stock market to Gen Z like us? Yung meron na Discords and Zoom meetings, parang mentorship po. We can... Sige, go ahead.
I really hope in the future we can teach.
Yes, I mean, we can consider that, Kyle. Definitely, di ba? Kasi we are excited to have the Gen Z be involved in the stock market. I think it's about time. It's about time na mas marami pang maging investors sa Pilipinas, di ba? Maybe in the future, pero right now we are preparing here in StocksEd, not only for Gen Z, pero for all generations, for all Filipinos. Medyo nagkakaroon lang tayo ng delay, no? Pero kaabang-abang yan. I think Pia has seen one of those courses. What do you think about the course, Pia? Do you think this is gonna help yeah?
Yeah, for sure po. It's gonna help a lot. It's sobrang ma-understand niyo po siya easily. So,
yeah, and that's the goal of stocks, di ba? Kumbaga, of course, you can go online. There's a lot of free content. But for regular Filipinos, nahihirapan pa rin silang intindihan kasi nga it's not a common topic or discussion in the Philippines, 'di ba? Pera, investments. So overwhelming pa rin. Interesado na pero pagka search nila lalo lang silang nalito. So that's the part na we're trying to solve, and yan, aabangan natin yan mga kapayaman. Sige, tingnan natin ano pa ba? Sabi ni Joe, yeah, thank you. Pero real time din po ba yung pagpapracticean? Yes, it's real time. That's true, Jovi. Yan. Ano pa? Check lang tayo rito, Pia. Ito, sabi ni Ivan Romero, paano po malalaman na support level na siya? Sa trends lang po ba siya malalaman? What can you say, Pia?
Maybe you can check like yung previous trading days, like yung history. You can check kung saan level siya nagba-bounce, because usually that's the support in the levels where it bounces yung price.
Yan. Sige, share lang tayo ulit ng screen para this is a really good question from Ivan. So, random lang, pipili tayo ng stock. Ano maganda? SSI. Hindi, wag yan kasi nabasag yan recently. Ito, M-wide. Mega-wide. Okay. You know what you can do? Sa ating mga kapayamans, go to a weekly chart. Right? Meron tayong mga tinatawag na parang multi-year support and multi-year resistance levels. Do it in all of your stocks. Lahat. 300 companies. And then save it. Ang gagawin mo, i-identify mo na itong mga to. Nakakita ka ng parang reversal, right? Ito. That's already considered a support or resistance. Maybe here, sa level na to. Yan. Keep on doing it. Kahit malalayo. Yan, kahit malayo. Yan, kahit matagal pa. I'll do it in other stocks. Ano about jazz? Identify mo na. Ito, medyo pangit ito. Huwag na skip natin yan. WPI. Okay, ayan. Sa WPI, alam natin na meron ditong support. Di ba? Alam natin na meron ditong posibleng mag-resist. I-plot mo na sa lahat ng stocks. Right? Nakita mo merong reaction. Right? Sa lahat ng stocks, pwede mo nang gawin yan para isa-save mo na siya. Pagbukas mo ng stock na yon, meron ka nang nakakita na support and resistance, magre-react ka na lang. Right? So to answer your question, sino to? Si Ivan Romero, paano malalaman kung support level na siya? If you see na nagre-react yung level na yon at nagkakaroon ng reversal or bounce, that can already be considered a support level. Right? Like ito, if you go to the daily time frame, we can see na dyan siya naglalaro. Di ba? We have a support level there. Yan o. Dito pa nga lang, pwede mo na i-trade yan eh. Pag umabot ka rito, bibenta mo siya rito, right? That's already 27%. Support and resistance lang, di ba? And makikita naman natin, itong dating resistance na to, oops. Ano nangyari? Yan. Yung dating resistance na yan, naging resistance din siya rito. So that's a posibleng level din na babalikan. Right? So yun. To answer your question, pag nagkakaroon ng reversal, that's already considered a support and resistance. Lalo na kung maraming beses. Okay. You want to add something to that, Pia? Or okay na tayo ron?
Okay na po.
Okay. Follow-up question from Jovi. So it means po, it's great to buy pag na-break niya yung resistance. Tapos pag umangat uli, saka na magbenta. Pwede ba yun, Pia?
Pwede po. Yung strategy po na yun, it's called breakout plays. Yung mga ganun po. So yeah, that's possible po.
Yun, tama. Kasi sa stock market, typically, buy low, sell high tayo. Buy low, buy at a low price, sell at a higher price, di ba? Pero sa breakout, it's buy high, sell higher.
Sell higher.
Oo. So kumbaga kasi, nakita mo na may momentum. Di ba? Parang lumalakas yung buyers. Marami kayo magtutulak ng price. So sasabayan mo yon. Kumbaga, parang yung bus, di ba? Bus. Or jeep na lang, jeep na lang. Imbis na magpunuan pa sa support level, di ba? Sasakay ka kapag ka paalis na. Di ba? Kape-kape ka muna dyan sa gilid. Pero pag nakita mong paalis na to, tsaka pa lang sasakay. That's like a breakout play. Pag alam mong aarangkada na, di ba? Aarangkada na yung jeep, tsaka ka pa lang sasakay. Pero syempre, hindi laging ganun. Minsan, hindi rin siya nagtutuloy. Di ba? Okay. Okay, ito. From Ivan Romero uli. Maganda yung mga tanong ni Ivan o Pia. What are the pros and cons po of pagiging position trader, swing trader, and day trader?
Okay, siguro po let's start sa day. So day trading, yung cons is that kailangan mo pong i-monitor yung trade mo completely. And if you don't have the time, the luxury of time to do that, it's gonna be hard. But the pro, I guess, matitake advantage mo po yung mga biglaang malalaking galaw sa stock market. Sa swing naman po, the pros, there's more room for fluctuation since it's short to medium term. And sa position trading po, the pros, it's long term. So yun po, pinakamalaking room for growth. But the cons, lahat po ng pagbagsak ng market, there are times na kailangan mo pong sakyan yun until mag-recover na lang po ulit.
Yan. So, tanongin lang natin mga kapayaman natin. Oh. Sige. Kayo ba, what are you interested in doing? Do you want to be an investor or do you want to be a trader? Put it in the comment section.
Both.
No? Or both, yeah. Tama. Investor or trader or both. What do you want to do? Sige, put it in the comment section. Tignan natin kung anong malapit sa puso nila, no? At this point. Sige, abang-abang muna tayo ng mga comments nila. Tingin pa tayo ng ibang mga question dito. So from Josh Taragua, how do you balance academics and trading? Yun na nga, nasabi ni Pia kanina, na-share niya na. Pero in summary, Pia, how do you do it now?
Prioritize your time po. Make sure you have time for studying, time for trading. Ayun lang po.
And may dagdag ko lang, time for having fun, di ba? In fact, the stock market, lagi ko sinasabi to, could be addictive. Totoo yan, marami na addict sa stock market, di ba? Wag kayo di ba? Wag kayo ma-addict. Ano yan? It should be just an instrument. It should not take over your life. So ikaw, continue adding value to people through your job or business, di ba? The stock market should just amplify your wealth building, di ba? So huwag tayong masyadong ma-excite na puro stock market na lang tayo all day long. Hindi natin gusto yan. So do other stuff, exercise, whatever, di ba? So balance daw, sabi ni Pia. Tingin pa tayo rito ng mga tanong mo. Sabi ni Kisel, is it okay if I will invest po sa'yo, Pia? Wag muna. Oo. Diba? Kasi we are here to, actually Pia, parang naging concern niya, sabi ni Pia, bago pa lang ako, okay lang ba mag-share? Yes. In Stocks Ed, anybody who helps, anybody who can help, like right now, I'm not a Gen Z. I don't understand the language that much. In fact, I'm still learning. So I think it only makes sense na we have someone from your generation to talk to you about this, right? So, di ba, kahit na bago pa lang si Pia, I'm very impressed because she has the raw skills, the talent in teaching. I've seen it in her TikTok videos. And
thank you po.
No, that's true. Kaya gustong-gusto natin na i-invite yung mga ganun tao dito sa Stocks, di ba? And Pia, ano bang pangalan ng TikTok mo para makita natin ng mga kapayaman natin yan?
You can follow me po at Bautista Pia.
Lagay natin dyan sa hindi ako makapag-type ngayon eh. Bautista Pia. Yun lang?
Yes po. Yun lang po.
Okay, and by the way, just to set your expectations, her page is not all about the stock market. Di ba? In fact,
yes.
na nakausap ko siya before, ang gusto niya talaga magturo ng other stuff, which is again very good kasi stock market is just one way. Hindi naman siya yung the only way. So ano pa ba yung mga content na makikita nila sa channel, sa account mo, Pia?
Meron din po about personal finance, yung mga natutunan ko po from the books I'm reading, how to develop your mindset, yung mga ganun po.
Right. So, and this is catering the Gen Z, the young people, di ba?
Yes po.
Yan.
But
So
anyone can join.
Ako nga, nanonood ako ng videos mo, di naman ako Gen Z, no? Pero bakit ba importante ang personal finance or money management sa ating mga teenagers? Di ba parang YOLO? Dapat YOLO. Di ba? You only live once, di ba pwedeng enjoy lang muna tayo? What do you think, Pia?
First po, pag na-understand niyo po yung personal finance, financial literacy, magbabago po yung perspective niyo eh. You know, the way you see money, like, madedevelop po yung patience and discipline niyo po when it comes to investing and budgeting. Second, it's a good time to learn about how money works and how you can make it work for you. Para in the future po, you know how to deal with your own financial problems, if there are any. And third, for financial freedom, if you want to achieve financial freedom in the future, you no longer have to work to sustain a living.
Yeah, that's true. And again, that's responsible teaching. Diyan din ako parang bumilib sa channel ni Pia. Kasi parang ang karamihan ng audience niya interested sa stock market. Mas marami nagtatanong about the stock market. Pero she didn't she didn't take advantage of it. She nag-stick siya dun sa advocacy niya, which is personal finance, proper money management, and stock market is just one of them. That's responsible teaching.
Yes
And
po.
yun yung mga makikita natin sa account niya, follow Bautista Pia, right, sa TikTok. Mas marami pa tayong matututunan. At yun, ano pa ba? Any last few more tips, Pia, from you na para sa ating mga kapayaman na nanonood?
If you want to start, I'm highly encouraging all the Gen Z people or everyone to start investing for the reason na if you put all your money in the bank po, it's gonna lose value because of inflation. So you might as well invest it. And the first step is always education po. So lifelong commitment to learning.
Aral muna bago invest, di ba?
Yes po. Because a lot of people say na trading is like gambling, pero I don't think that's true because there's so much skill and knowledge that goes into trading po. So the more you study, the less risk you're gonna take.
Yan. So kumbaga, nagiging sugal siya pag di mo alam yung ginagawa mo. Di ba? Pero
Yes
that's the
po.
point. Oo, kayang education comes first, di ba? Ikaw ba, Pia, baka naman puro ka trading at aral? Baka parang di ba parang ano, baka naman all this yung lifestyle mo, ganun ba? What do you do outside academics and the stock market?
Well, I like to dance po. I also watch movies. I like K-dramas, anime. Pero yeah, learning po kasi is very fun for me still. Kaya it's okay kahit all day long po ako nagbabasa.
Yan. At yan din yung gusto natin mangyari sa ating mga kapayamans. No? Have the balance. Again, I cannot limit myself in saying it. Be young. Di ba? Okay pa rin, be young. But at the same time, YOLO responsibly, sabi nga ng iba. Di ba? YOLO responsibly. Hindi naman maganda rin na i-prepare mo yung sarili mo. Right? Di ba? Aralin mo yung stock market. Magsimula ka with very little. Kahit na ano lang yan, 5,000, 10,000. Okay lang yun. Right? Start with very little and then eventually palalaguin mo na yan as you grow older. Pero at the same time, have fun, di ba? Yan yung mga gusto natin mangyari. And let me just sabi nga ni Ivan, typical Gen Z, yes, be a Gen Z by all means. And I want to share this. I want to take this opportunity, no? Pia, dati, ako kasi millennial, medyo sumabit pa ako sa millennial. Dati, napag-usapan namin ito ni girlfriend ko, medyo naaanoy kami ng kaunti sa mga Gen Z. Sabi namin parang ang yayabang ng Gen Z. Ganun yung namin impression. But you know what? Sa ating mga kapayamans, no? I think there are a lot of things that we can learn from Gen Z people. And one of them is that kind of attitude. Like they don't really worry so much. I think that's an abundance mindset. Di ba? Kumbaga, kasi the older people like myself, we have a lot of time to worry. Gen Z, they don't do a lot of that. I think that's something we can learn from them. Diba? It's gonna be okay. Okay lang yan. It's gonna be okay. Have fun. And you can apply that same mentality in trading. Be patient with your journey, right? Be patient with yourself. Other things na natututunan ko from Gen Z is creativity. In fact, nung pinakita ko kay Pia yung ginagawa namin sa StocksEd, I did a lot of changes pa based on her comments. Bakit? Because I agree with her feedback. You know, the Gen Z people, in fact, without them, marami kasi mga designer dito sa StocksEd na Gen Z. Without them, StocksEd would have been different. I think the Gen Z, even yung sa TikTok, yung mga videos na ginagawa nyo sa TikTok, binabayaran pa yan dati ng malalaki, yung mga nagvi-video shooting pa and all, di ba? Pero pag pinapanood ko yung behind the scenes, grabe, sobrang creativity, ang likot ng utak, you know? So these are things, so I think, what I'm trying to say is, I think marami kasi nagko-compare na yung mga kabata ngayon, mga ganyan, buti pa yung generation namin. No, I think there's no competition, there's collaboration, right? We have a lot of wisdom na makukuha sa older generations, but at the same time, marami tayong matututunan from the Gen Z. So it's going to be a collaboration. And here in StocksEd, expect a lot of collaboration from different generations because our goal, right? Our goal, our dream is to build a nation. Itong Pilipinas, iaangat natin yung financial literacy, Our goal is iaangat natin yung standard of living ng mga Pilipino, not just through the stock market but more on ano rin, 'di ba? Financial literacy as a whole. So, 'yun. Okay. Salamat mga
Agree.
kapayaman. Oo, 'di ba? Marami pa tayong tanong dito pero tingnan lang natin, oh. A few more before tayong magtapos. Sabi ni Marie Francesca, what can you advise to those who don't have capital but want to do this?
Then it's a good time to learn po. Sabi nga po nila, learn now, earn later. So ayun po. It's always a good time to start learning.
That's true. And while you're learning, Marie Francesca, it's also a good time to manage your finances kasi yung marami pumapasok sa trading, hindi nga sila di marunong mag-ipon. Madadala mo yung ugali na yon sa trading. Gagawin mong sugal, di ba? So, our advice kung nagsisimula ka pa lang din mag-ipon, doon ka muna tumutok, right? Build the habits, build the right attitude in money or in handling finances. Tsaka ka ngayon mag-trade.
Virtual trading po muna. Pwede rin po.
And virtual trading, yes, kasi meron nga tayong mga available sa Instagrams, di ba? Teka, tingnan natin kung may mga magandang tanong pa tayo rito, no? Okay, I think that's it. Shoutout, may shoutout ka ba dyan? Sige, shoutout mo muna yung mga friends and family mo dyan sa ating viewers. Yeah.
Shoutout po kay Mommy, kay Daddy. So,
Sino
best
pa?
friend ko po, si Riam. Hi. So, mga friends ko po na nanonood from Saudi.
Thank you. Shout out sa mga kapayaman. So if you think na this session gave you value, kapayaman, share. Please share this video. Please like and share Stocks Ed to your family and friends. Maraming pa tayong ihahandog sa lahat. At magtutulong-tulong tayo. We want to keep on educating the Filipino people about personal finance and the stock market. We're very excited. At maraming salamat ulit mga kapayaman. From me, Ed Talks, at from Miss Pia Bautista. Thank you for joining us tonight. And magandang gabi. See you again
Thank you
on the
po
next
for
session.
having me.
Thank you, Pia. Bye-bye.
Thank you po to all.